If this doesn't blow you away, I don't know what does. So if you're a Christian interested in time Bible prophecy, pay attention. Again, I publish a book for you called The Falling Away, depicts the rise, fall, and death and resurrection of Pope Francis, how Revelation 17 is unfolded as we speak, and the destruction of the Vatican, aka the falling away. Now, to recap on what I showed you previously, I explained how Pope Francis fulfills the prophecy of the false prophet in chapter 17 of Revelation, where scripture says the one that is not is himself is called the eighth. Pay attention to that. He's called the eighth. Then I show you how he died April 21st at age 88. Then I showed you he's the eighth pope buried at St. Mary's Basilica. And then I showed you how scripture calls him the eighth. And then his burial site, he's the eighth. And then I show you how the pope before him fulfills the scripture and the prophecy of the one that'll be there for a short time. And then I show you at his death, the pope before him was also the seventh who was there for a short time. And then we see twice in life, Pope Francis was the eighth. And then in death, we see Pope Francis as the eighth. So on two occasions, we see Pope Francis as the eighth, and he died at age 88. And if that ain't strange enough, the scripture in verse 8 says the one that you saw was and is not will ascend out the bottomless pit, implies a resurrection, which is also verse 8. And if that ain't strange enough, the end times, as Jesus says, will be like the days of Noah, and the days of Noah ended with the eighth as 8 survivors on the ark, and the end times of our era is going to begin with the eighth and Pope Francis.